Welcome back, dear viewers. And on the Minister of Transportation Kamil Wazir press conference that was just held, we're joined over the phone by Dr. Hamdy, Barghouth expert of international transportation. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, what's the significance of the press conference that was just held here in Cairo by Minister of Transportation Kamil Wazir?
Well, talking about developing the transportation sector in any country is something very essential, because it's connecting the whole world together with our country, and that's why it's important and essential from time to time for the Minister of Transport to talk about the development scheme happening in the transport sector in Egypt. And this one of the conference whereas we are promoting our developing scheme on our transportation sector.
Mm-hmm. Sir, what's the significance of developing the ports and infrastructure here in Egypt and between Egypt and neighboring Arab countries and African countries?
Well, when we talk about ports, we should have to bear in mind that we have seaports, we have airports, we have dry ports, we have river ports, we have rail stations, we have bonded warehouses, we have distribution centers, logistics centers, and free zones. All of these are considered to be ports, whereas all the international trade are doing its connectivity and import and export through these ports. The Minister of Transport was talking about the seaports only, whereas the seaport trade worldwide representing 92% of the whole international trade, and that's why it's very important to zoom on the seaports and its infrastructure, whereas we have the entrance, we have the waiting area, we have the quays, we have the backup area, and all of this scheme needs to be developed from time to time in order to cope with the international standard in port management system.
Great, sir. His Excellency spoke about different routes and several new ports that will be developed soon between Egypt and other neighboring countries. Would you please brief us on those new ports?
Well, when we have the new system of joining the international port operators together with the seaport or maritime transport sector in Egypt, whereas it's been very successful in Portside East Port as well as in Sukhna Port nowadays, with some sort joining venture with Chinese companies in operating certain terminals, and in Tahya Masr port, whereas we have a certain relationship, or let us say contracting system with shipping lines, and nowadays in Damietta as well. Not only that, but also we are now developing El Arish port to be considered one of the most important seaports in the East Mediterranean, together with Portside East Port. And that's why all of these ports are in bad need to be developed from time to time and join force with international investors in this area, and this is exactly what the Minister of Transport was trying to concentrate on, and we are opening for foreign investment in our country, and these are one of the most important investment ever in the whole world in the seaports, because it needs billions of dollars for developing one single seaport in any area. And in Egypt we have the Mediterranean as well as the Red Sea, where we have more than 3,000 kilometers of seashore needs to be developed, and to establish new seaports all around these areas.
Great. Sir, how will these new ports, routes and shipping lines have its positive impact on the Egyptian economy?
Definitely. It's a window to the international trade. And it's not only for the import and export for Egypt only, but also for transit business for the other countries. Likewise, what happened in Portside Eastport, whereas we are, importing 10% out of the total throughputs of the Portside Eastport. Most of it are in transit to the East Mediterranean, to Ashdod in Israel, and to Gaza in Palestine, and to Beirut, Latakia, Mersin in Turkey. All of these are used to be served by the Portside Eastport, and that's why we are promoting nowadays the transit business in Egypt.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hamdy Barghouth, expert of international transportation. Many thanks for your insight. And dear viewers, that's all for our coverage for the press conference that was held by Minister of Transportation, Kamel Wazir. Stay tuned for more here on Al TV International.